midday, updates you on all the running stories, and connects you to the newsmakers.
City News.
It's midday. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Citi Prime News live from our studio at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. My name is Ajuatin Krama Domina. This afternoon, I'm here with
Wilma Obobisa Coleman.
Coming up, conference of heads of assisted secondary schools expresses worry over allegations leveled against 11 senior high school head teachers interdicted for allegedly charging unauthorized fees.
We also made some inputs. Some were taken, some they told us that in due course they will make those changes. So I can confidently say that we were engaged and we were satisfied with whatever date that we discussed and we agreed on.
Also coming up, scores of Ghanaians mass up at the Kaneshie District Court in solidarity with embattled spokesperson for the New Force movement, Shalima Buisi. Meanwhile, the Belgian national has been granted a 20,000 Ghana cedis bail.
So if you have an issue, no problem. You brought the matter to court. The court has admitted the person to bail. Please, let's release her on bail.
Still ahead, government seeks parliamentary approval for $338 million for rehabilitation and expansion of the Accra-Tema motorway. And later, we'll bring you a report on how the various political parties are gearing up for the 2024 elections with less than 12 months to the polls. The news is live on all our partner stations across the country. In the Upper West region, we are on Tupani Radio 88.5 in Nadoli. We are on Jirapa 96.1 FM. In the Upper East region, we are on Records 92.1 FM at Bongo Namo. In the Northern region, we are on Northern Star Radio 92.1 in Tamale. In Northeast region, we are on Nobia FM 98.1 Nalerigu. In Western region, we are on Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady. In the Ashanti region, you can find us on Focus 94.3 FM, Orange 107.9 FM in Kumasi. In the Volta region, we are on Sela Radio 97.1 FM in Dabala and Holy FM 98.5 FM. In the Savannah region, catch us on Kasha 99.5 FM in Damongo. Across the globe, we are live on citinewsroom.com and on CityTube on YouTube.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday, updates you on all the running stories, and connects you to the newsmakers.
We're grateful for your company. We begin from the courts, and the spokesperson from the New Force movement has been granted bail to the tune of 20,000 Ghana cedis and is required to report to the police 3 times a week. The Belgian national Shalima Abuisi was arraigned at the Kaneshie High Court to face charges of allegedly obtaining a student permit in Ghana through false declarations. She has pleaded not guilty to the charges. According to the prosecution, they took interest in her following her activities on social media as a spokesperson for the political group The New Force, whose leaders are yet to be known. Investigations, according to prosecutors from the Ghana Immigration Service, pointed to the fact that the university has no evidence of her admission. Meanwhile, one of her lawyers, Francis Xavier Susu, has accused investigators of attempting to abuse court processes by demanding to hold her in custody until the bail conditions are fulfilled.
When you bring a person to court and the court admits the person to bail, what happens is that the investigators are under a duty to go and inspect the properties or the homes of the sureties. That's what you do. So, assuming court is closing and the judges do not have a place, or the court does not have a place to keep the accused person, right? Then an investigator could then say that, well, they will take her and keep her in custody until those inspections are done. But under this circumstance, that's not what is happening. The bail has been granted. The sureties are around. And the sureties have actually properly so-called brought their ID cards and supplied same to the registrar of the court. The only thing left is for the inspector, the investigator to inspect the homes of the sureties so that the sureties will sign for her to be released. That's what is left. But what is happening now that we want to go and keep her and until whatever, I mean, very, very respectfully, that will be an abuse. It will violate her right to fair trial. It will violate her right to freedom of movement. It will violate her right not only under the Constitution of Ghana, but under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I mean, the UN Convention on Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. I mean, how do you treat a foreigner like that on your land? Ghanaians are also, we are also foreigners elsewhere, right? And so how we will want to be treated elsewhere is the same way we should treat other people here. So if you have an issue, no problem. You brought the matter to court. The court has admitted the person to bail. Please, let's release her on bail.
Francis Xavier Susu is lawyer for the spokesperson for the new force. The case has been adjourned to December 19, 2023. Let's take you to Kumasi now. There's been updates on the Kumasi fire. Roma has the story.
Well, the mayor of Kumasi, Samuel Pine, says fire officers may not have enough evidence to unravel the exact cause of the fire outbreak at the French Line section of the Kumasi Central Market. This is because affected traders are clearing the area and preparing to erect temporary sheds to continue with their businesses. The fire, which occurred on Sunday, caused extensive damage to properties worth thousands of Ghana cedis. The French Line section is known for wares such as clothes, phones, locally made sandals, medicinal products, and other foodstuffs. Although the Kumasi mayor says he's yet to receive a report on the incident, he dispelled rumors that the affected traders will be evicted from the area following the fire outbreak.
I'm yet to receive a comprehensive report from the fire service. My worry is about how people trampled on evidence that could have been gathered, because after the outbreak, a lot of people who trooped in there may have compromised the evidence as to what actually caused the fire. I think it's important to drum it to people that the season that we're entering is not that favorable, especially when things are getting dried up. And therefore, we should be cautious of such incidents and that we should adhere to regulations that the fire have been given to us.
So some of the traders have also started rebuilding. There were concerns that they were going to barricade the area as they did to the other projects.
You see, people just, these are all speculations. I mean, that portion of the market is for the phase 3, of things we're yet to tackle. Even the phase 2 is a little bit on hold, and we're going to commence work soon. But the barricading that they're doing is to protect the original place that they're working at, the phase 2, because they have a lot of equipment, materials, and all that. The fire people have to destroy portions of the hoarding before they could get access to fight the fire, and therefore they needed to rebuild that. That's what they are doing, but it's not the intention of the assembly or central government to do anything right now. The only thing that we're going to do later is the access road that they are going to build, which is part of that area that will be taken care of, but we've not started work on that yet.
That was the Kumasi mayor, Samuel Pine.
Let's move from Kumasi to the Oti region now. The Nkwanta South Municipal Security Council says it is engaging the Education Directorate to ensure the reopening of schools within the municipality. Schools have been closed for about a month now following a clash among the Adele, Chala and Akiode tribes over disagreements regarding the performance of ritual rites related to the 2023 annual Yam Festival. In an interview with Citi News, the Municipal Chief Executive, Bright Lenwa, said a few teachers have, however, been engaged to support first-year students who have been placed in senior high schools in Nkwanta.
We started talking with the teachers and the educational authorities. I spoke with the GES director for the municipality a while ago, and we are trying to see, we have just about 2 weeks, nearly 2 weeks for to break for the Xmas holidays. But we're trying to see if we can talk to some of the teachers who are around to get back to school so that the children who are also around will come around, even if they wouldn't have any serious academic work. Once they come for 5 days or 4 days before school officially close down for the first term, then we work towards full reopening or full resumption in the second term early next year. But as I speak, I can say for sure that apart from admission processes ongoing in the senior high schools, the resumption of senior high school students will also be early next year. But admission process, we have some skeletal staffs in the various senior high schools in town here who are dedicated and they are at post, ensuring that all the children who have been placed in those schools come around and then they are granted admission.
Albright Lenwa added that residents have returned to their normal activities.
For now, things are moving on well. Gradually, things are picking up. Businesses are returning. Shop owners have started opening their shop. The market, for the past 3 weeks, the market used to be held on the main streets of Nkwanta town for the fear of the safety of market women. But today, I can say a considerable number have returned to the main market with heavy security among them to give them the assurance that their security is assured. So generally, I can say things are improving and moving on gradually.
Bryce Lenwa is the Nkwanta South Municipal Chief Executive in the UT region.
Now, the West African Examination Council, WAEC, will in the coming days publish the names of students who failed to respond to a committee set up to investigate the mass exam malpractices. Over 2,000 candidates who took this year's Basic Education Certificates Examination, BEC, were under investigation by the WAEC due to suspected examination malpractice. The candidates were subsequently invited to WAEC's offices to answer questions about alleged irregularities detected during the exams. Speaking to Citi News on the outcome of the investigations, the Public Relations Officer of WAEC, John Kapi, said candidates who appeared before the committee have had their issues rectified and are currently placed in senior high schools.
Speak with you, we are going to publish about almost 500 names in the daily because they have not honored our invitation for the one-on-one. I mean, that is the investigations that were carried out in Kumasi. Besides that, I think we put out about 22,000 and over names or results of candidates that have been withheld. So as I speak with you, we have just about 800 candidates more whose results are yet to be processed. Together with the list of those that we are going to publish, that will be about 800. All right. So, some of these things, you go out there, you get the information that they give you, and they call for further investigation. So that's why the figure is just about 800, together with the ones we are going to publish. Those that honor the invitation, those whose cases have been looked at, a majority of them have had their results released, and I guess by now they would have been placed in the senior high schools.
You heard the Public Relations Officer of the West African Examination Council, WAEC, John Kapi.
Away from that, the Chief Executive Officer of the Chamber of Telecommunications and convener of the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, Engineer Kenneth Ashikbe, has expressed worry over the lack of punitive measures against people who assault journalists, emphasizing the pivotal role of media freedom in a democratic society. He stressed the need for Ghanaians to prioritize the safety of journalists. Dr. Ashikbe was speaking at the commemoration of the International Human Rights Day 2023, organized by the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice under the theme, the 75th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Implications for Human Rights Protection in Ghana.
Another vital aspect of human rights protection is freedom of expression and press freedom. And I am a firm advocate for media rights because apart from the fact that the media just hold that right in trust for all of us, and that even those who are oppressing the media, they themselves, when they leave the trappings of power and the state is up against them, like we do in Ghana, the first place they will call will not be anybody else but the media. So it is important that we all take that very seriously. And for me as a person, I have benefited from the works of the media. From my days at Multimedia, when I was general manager of Joy FM, to OMP and Metro TV, and when I came back to Multimedia again and to as managing director of graphic, there's the sweat and the toils of journalists who have made it possible for me to live my life. So when you have situations like Pius goes to cover the elections, the last election, and up to now he's had 4 surgeries and still counting. And then the perpetrator of this, who's called national security person, still roams around. The case goes to court, nothing happens. You should get worried. When you have the case in which the skull of my colleague from Multimedia has been broken by the police in the CID headquarters itself, then you should be worried.
Dr. Ashibe, who is also convener of the Media Coalition Against Illegal Mining in Galamsey, also called on Parliament to pass a legislation prohibiting the issuance of mining permits in forest reserve.
Environmental rights, in particular, are intrinsically linked to human rights, as the protection of the environment directly impacts the well-being and livelihoods of individuals and communities. It is on the back of this that we should take the current socio-ecological terrorism that is being waged on Ghanaians through the scourge of Galamsey, illegal mining, very seriously. And on the back of that, unfortunately, our representative from Parliament is not here. But the Honourable Deputy Minister for the Attorney General is here. That we call on Parliament as a matter of urgency to pass the act that explicitly forbids the grant of any mining or drilling permit, license or lease, or any other associated activities in all forest reserves and significant biodiversity areas. Because I remember, in answering a question, the Honourable Deputy Attorney General said that there was no law in Ghana that forbids mining in forest reserves. So we need to go a step and ask that that law be passed. But this will mean revoking the so-called environmental protection mining in forest reserves regulation, LI 2462.
Chief Executive of the Ghana Chamber of Telecommunications, Dr. Engineer Kenneth Ashube. Let's stay on the issue of lithium mining because, as you know, Ghana has granted a mining lease to Barari DV Ghana, a subsidiary of Atlantic Lithium Limited, to start the construction of a lithium mine at Ewoya in the central region under a 15-year lease. The lease, which incorporates new and enhanced terms, according to the government, will ensure that Ghana benefits from the mineral. But this deal has generated a lot of reactions from stakeholders, with a minority in Parliament calling for more scrutiny to ensure the country benefits optimally from the deal. Former Power Minister and Member of Parliament for Pru East, Dr. Kwabena Donkor, is reported to have said that the deal is beneficial to the country, while his side in Parliament is still requesting for more scrutiny. He joins us live on the phone for what he makes of Ghana's lithium deal. Good afternoon, Dr. Kwabena Donkor. Thank you so much for your time here on the news.
Good afternoon.
So first of all, the deal has generated varied opinions. We've heard from the IAS, from ASEP, a number of groups and individuals. In your view, what do you make of the deal in its current form?
Well, let me take this first. In your intro, you said the minority had called for amendments or other things before. You brought the issue of the minority in your
Yes,
intro.
the minority is asking for a scrutiny. Last week, John Jinapo did a press conference and he's asking that government present the deal so that the side can scrutinize this properly.
You see, I don't see, yes. What I want to avoid is you playing me against the minority.
That's not what we are doing, sir. We are asking what...
Listen to me, please.
Right.
Can you please? Yes. The minority says, I'm a member of the Mines and Energy Committee of the minority. We say bring it to Parliament as required of the Constitution for scrutiny. That is all that the minority has said. I just want to make that clear.
Clarity duly noted.
Yes. My personal opinion and what I have said is that the fiscal terms, particularly the royalties, the carried interest, within the context of the current law, are an improvement and favorable within the context of the current law. I have also made some further suggestions to improve the deal. I have stated that, for example, the equity interest of the Minerals Income Investment Fund should be raised from the current 6% to above 10%. I have stated that. I have also stated that concrete efforts should be made and want to see through to discourage transfer pricing so that Ghanaians can get a better deal out of it. Remember, corporate income tax is 35%. And if we allow a regime of transfer pricing, the money that will be available to be taxed will be lower. I've also said that. I have also said that it is important that we know the beneficial owners of the 4.4% equity that is attributable to previous landholders. So yes, the fiscal terms negotiated within the context of the current law are good. I have also stated that there is the need now for a new law on green minerals because the current law is omnibus and covers everything. But because of evolving events, there is the need for a specific law for green minerals. And I'm also stating that there is the need to finance and equip the Ghana Geological Survey Authority to be able to do prospecting, to be able to do recce, so that when we come to the negotiating table, we are coming with more concrete data. We use that as leverage to get a better deal. In mining and petroleum, this is the first mine. And if this mine goes into operation, we are relatively de-risking the environment, and therefore newer ones will have improved terms. So it is in the context of the current law, yes, this is an improvement and a good deal in the context of the current law. But we are also asking, and I'm also asking, for some improvement, including increasing our equity participation. That is the key. For too long, we have shied away from equity participation, and we have relied on royalties and carried interest. That alone will not give us the maximum benefit that we should have.
Right.
I just want to put that clear.
Thank you so much for speaking with us. You heard the former Power Minister and a member of the Mines and Energy Committee of Parliament. He's also the Member of Parliament for Pru East, Dr. Kwabena Donko. Let's stay on this matter because Chief Executive Officer of the Minerals Commission, Martin Gwekweyisi, has assured that the lithium deal will be submitted to Parliament for scrutiny.
The very day Minister signed, he made a brief statement. And he was very clear. He said, look, there are some other next steps or other regulatory steps that need to be taken to complete the transaction, which will require, among others, the ratification. That is not even the end. They have to secure environmental permits, so they are currently going through the environmental permitting process. Then they will even have to come back to Minerals Commission for the operating permit, and even we have to issue them a construction permit. So between now and end of the year, up to even the next quarter of next year, we hope to go to the environmental permitting process, get them operating permit, get them construction permit, get the lease ratified. This was stated clearly, brief remarks, after signing the agreement. So it was quite surprising that IEA and other critics, we welcome that though, I said that, anybody who doesn't get this in ratified is a bad lawyer. Myself, a lawyer for the past 21 years or so, we knew about it. So we had put it in the constitution, in the league. So reference to those provisions in those two laws are quoted, the Constitution, the Act, and even the agreement, and also making reference to the Supreme Court case. We knew about it. It's not lost on us. So the impression should not be created that with the signing, the guys are going out there to go and start mining. That's why our response is that this is moot. And the accounts will say, if you permit me, because the minister said it in his place. So that is my answer.
Chief Executive of Minerals Commission, Martin Kweku AC. You're still listening to the Citi Prime News. Still ahead, conference of heads of assisted secondary schools expresses worry of allegations leveled against 11 senior high school head teachers interdicted for charging some unauthorized fees. Stay with us for details.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
1xBet. Big bonuses, big odds, big wins. Download 1xBet app, make a deposit, and you get 300% bonus on up to 3,445 Ghana cedis. The biggest bonus ever. 1xBet is a reliable bookmaker. So head up to 1xBet.com.gh. Register with promo code WELCOME-GHANA and get a huge welcome bonus on your first deposit right now. Have a chance to win. 1xBet gives you more. Gambling can be addictive. Bet responsibly. Not for person under 18 years. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission.
After a busy day at work, consumed by the responsibilities of work, family, church, etc., it's great to get home to a detailed and comprehensive coverage of the day's biggest stories, ensuring that all angles of the various news items are accurately and adequately covered. CNR seeks to leave no stone unturned to bring viewers the best in news reportage. Watch CNR for a comprehensive bulletin of the day's biggest stories at 8 p.m. every single day of the week, only on Citi TV.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Let's bring you some more stories. A conference of heads of assisted secondary schools, CHAS, has expressed worry over the allegations leveled against 11 senior high school head teachers who have been interdicted for allegedly charging unauthorized fees. Speaking to Citi News at the Ashanti Regional Education Office after accompanying 7 of the headmasters to a meeting, the National CHAS President, Reverend Father Stephen Owusu-Setre, noted that their engagements with the headmasters show that some of the allegations are true while others aren't true. He says the recent situation has brought considerable levels of unrest, bitterness, fear and panic in various schools. Reverend Father Stephen Owusu-Setre also says CHAS wants the relevant stakeholders to conduct expeditious investigations into the matter to bring finality to the issue as early as possible.
I must say that what is going on is very worrying. I'm very disturbed and perturbed because as a leader, I don't want to superintend over certain things that are uncalled for. So I am not going to say that all the allegations leveled against my colleagues are not true. In fact, some of them are true. Others, according to them, are not true. So I'm waiting for the investigations to be completed, and then we'll know where the truth lies. But there'll be some kind of fear and panic among my members, and right now I'm standing at the Ashanti Regional Secretariat office. I'm here with the 7 members who have been asked to step aside. I'm here to calm them down psychologically and make sure that they have the serene psyche to work. Speaking with them, some of them don't know anything about some of the allegations. Some also know something about what was going on. So right now we have to wait and then see what will come out of it. We are also
So far, we've had 7 persons have been interdicted in the Ashanti region and other parts of the country. So you know how many of your members have been interdicted based on the recent issues?
I know about 11 of them being asked to step aside for investigations. So I'm not going to say that they've been sacked. No, they say they should step aside for investigations to go on. So we are waiting for the investigations, and then we wait to see the final report, whether or not the allegations leveled against them are true or not.
So what would be your call to the GES? That's in terms of investigations.
Yes, we need an expeditious investigations to go on, because looking at the psychological position of my people now, they are so down. Some of them, they are even sick, because so many people are calling them their loved ones and all that. So we want the investigations to be expedited so that we will see the end of it, so that they also know where they stand.
Charles has also cautioned headmasters across the country to strictly stick to the harmonized prospectus and avoid charging fees that have not been authorized.
Because yesterday we had a meeting with all the members of CHAS, virtual meeting, and in that meeting we really reiterated and impressed upon our members to go strictly by the directives and the prospectus that has been given to us to work with. Even though left to us alone, certain items should have been on the prospectus. That is what we are working with now. We're moving forward. You're going to meet with the Director General, and then maybe coming next year, certain items that we feel are supposed to be there and that are not there, we will sit down with management, explain to them why they should be there, and then if they listen to us, those items should be on the prospectus. But for now, we are asking all members to comply with the directive from our Director General, and we shouldn't go against that. If you go against that, that would be a kind of disobedience, and if you disobey your boss or your employer, there are sanctions.
That is CHAS President Reverend Father Stephen Owusu Setre.
Meanwhile, the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools, CHAS, in the Ashanti region has expressed disappointment with the Ghana Education Service over how some 7 senior high school headmasters in the region have been interdicted. According to CHAS, the 7 headmasters in the Ashanti region in particular, as of Monday morning, had not received the letters asking them to step aside, although they have seen them circulating on social media. Speaking to Citi News, Zakaria Suleiman Yeboah, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of CHAS, stated that the said headmasters were also not engaged on the matter before the release of the letters.
We are here at the Regional Education Office Ashanti with the 7 members of CHAS who have been cited for doing or for committing some infractions. As we are here, none of them, or they have all not received any letter to that effect. They heard the news on the social media. I must tell you that they are seriously traumatized, and as we speak, they are not of themselves. And I believe that it wasn't the right thing to be done. It's a normal routine monitoring issue that goes on during every admission process. We admit that it is a good space for we, the heads, to also wake up as they move around to ensure that there is sanity. But once they come to our schools, they must, whatever things that they see there, they have to give us the opportunity to also explain ourselves very well, so that the things that are out of the issues, we take them out. And the things that we believe that they committed, it is added, so that if they are to step aside, they are given such letters, which will be in mutual understanding. So this is what I believe happened. And then as CHAS Ashanti, we are not happy about it. We believe that at least if somebody's image is damaged, as they are here, they've been crying because they are receiving calls from across the globe asking what has happened and so many issues. But the issue is that if after the investigations, it proved that they are right, what will you do to bring back the image lost? That is our problem, because it is not easy to get your image back after being chastised, after being insulted, after being humiliated throughout the entire world.
Zachariah Suleiman Yeboah is the Ashanti Regional Chairman of CHAS.
Meanwhile, a former Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Charles Aheto Chega, has described the interdiction of the head teachers of some senior high schools as sensational. Whilst acknowledging that the head teachers have to abide by the laws, he indicated that the current situation in the various schools compels the teachers to demand from parents.
I think that it all boils down to a certain lack of communication between the supervisors and then the implementers. That connection has actually been lost because for all these number of years we have been under full SHS, we should have been able to identify that these were potentials and there were things that could happen for us to find solutions to. But we left it. We didn't go back, we didn't discuss it. We knew that there were serious gaps in the cash flow for schools to function. We did nothing about it. We starved schools and we created very, very challenging situations for schools where heads were supposed to take very difficult decisions. As a head, you are helpless. And so you need to go back and fall on the parents and ask them, look, this is our challenge and all of those things. So for me, I think that we have been very much in a hurry to interdict. We didn't go to the situation to find out why did these people ask for whatever they asked, even though outrageous they were. But now you are taking them there so that you gather information. I mean, all these things you could have done it without being sensationalist and saying that they are being interdicted. I mean, besides, these are not offenses that would require headmasters to be out of job to investigate. They can still be in their job, and then you still investigate them. So I think that this situation is rather unfortunate. These people have not considered the reputations of the headmasters and who are affected in this situation. And it appears as if we have been very sensationalist in trying to do the kind of things that we are doing.
Former Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Charles Aheto Chega.
We'll stay a little while longer with the secondary schools because the Conference of Heads of Assisted Secondary Schools, CHAS, in the Ashanti region is calling on government to fulfill the pledge of supplying senior high schools with all needed items to prevent a shortage in schools as the academic year begins. Whilst CHAS says schools have been provided with food and other relevant resources, it wants the Ministry of Education and the Ghana Education Service to make funds available for the running of schools. There is more in the following report by Citi News' Bureau Chief for the Middle Belt, Edward Opong-Mafu.
The headmaster of the Collins Senior High School, Ampong Ahmed Umar, allegedly charged and collected an amount of 200 Ghana cedis per student for issuance of National Health Insurance cards. At the Asanteman Senior High School, students were allegedly charged 100 Ghana cedis by the admission and ICT team.
We apologize for that wrong insert.
This is still the Citi Prime News coming to you live from our studio at Dr. Morton Loop in Adabraka, Accra. Still to come, government seeks parliamentary approval for $338 million for rehabilitation of expansion of the Accra Tema Motorway. We'll tell you more shortly.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
It is your time to vote for your assembly members and unit committee members. So get involved and vote.
Citizens of Ghana, this is an urgent call from the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE. District-level election is here again. This year's election will take place on the 19th of December 2023. Every 4 years, Ghanaians are enjoined to elect citizens to serve as assembly and unit committee members to help facilitate the development of your community and the district. The time to exercise that civic duty is now. On Tuesday, December 19th, 2023, visit your voting center between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. with your valid voter's ID card and cast your vote to elect your preferred candidate. Remember, democracy begins at the local governance level. Your vote counts. Vote for development change agents. Vote for Ghana. A message from the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE.
With the complexities of issues happening around us on a daily basis, it's the hard-hitting conversations and probing questions of the point of view that teases apart the twisted entanglements of politics and governance, as well as religious and social discourse. The Point of View brings you the policymakers and duty bearers and drills down to the very bottom of issues. The Point of View airs every Monday and Wednesday at 9 p.m. only on Citi TV.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally.
Hi, my name is Stephen Appiah, the team coordinator of the Black Stars. I always like to keep hydrated naturally, every day, any day. S Natural Mineral Water does the trick.
Manufactured through a double purification process to produce pure, natural drinking water. X Natural Mineral Water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Updates you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. The management of the University of Ghana has begun payment of the interim market premium owed members of the Senior Staff Association and the Teachers and Educational Workers Union at the institution. The unions threatened to lay down their tools if management fails to clear the arrears by Wednesday, December 13. In an interview with Citi News, the national chairman of the Senior Staff Association of Universities of Ghana, Isaac Donko, said he is hopeful that all the arrears will be cleared by end of year.
National Labour Commission is intervening, but this is not the first time National Labour Commission has intervened. And sometimes you get a result, another time it will take a very long time before you achieve your results. And this one, it is taking us a very long time. But the good news is that we've also seen documents from management requesting for a claim from GTEC that 3 years should be paid. 2013 to 2015 has been sent to GTEC for further processing at Ministry of Finance so that those 3 years will be paid. So for now, I can say that very soon my members will get 3 years of their arrears on market premium by close of this month. The rest have been informed that another 3 years is also ready. Maybe by today or tomorrow, it will go to GTEC for further processing. And they are still working on the remaining two years. So there is sign after our intention to embark on strike. Once you started seeing some signs, we hope by the end of this year, you'll see some positive signs or everything will be paid.
Isaac Donko is the national chairman of the Senior Staff Association of Universities of Ghana. Now, the government is seeking parliamentary approval for a $338 million loan agreement for the rehabilitation and expansion of the Accra-Tema motorway. The facility will also finance the rehabilitation of the existing 6-lane Insawam Highway within 36 months. The Vice Chairman of the Finance Committee of Parliament, Patrick Boama, highlighted the scope of work during an interaction with journalists.
The entire project is divided into 3 sections, 1, 2, and 3. And the first section is the Accra-Tema motorway, which is 19.5 kilometers. And it's going to be the rehabilitation and expansion of a minimum of 10 lanes on the motorway. Then there's also going to be the reconstruction of the Tetekwashi interchange. Then the construction of the Teshi Link interchange, construction of community 18-foot interchange, construction of the Lashibi interchange, construction of toll plazas like toll booths, 8, construction of 10 new footbridges, enhancement of road traffic in Lagos. I'm sure those of you who live around Tema, you know what they call Lagos. Then the Lagos Avenue Link, Accra North of the Tetekwashi interchange. Then the rehabilitation of the Liberia Road to Polo Club, Polo Club, and overpass to Polo Club, south of the Tetekwashi interchange. That's section 1. Then the second section, that's the N1, George Walker Bush Highway. It's part of this, and the scope is 5.7 kilometers. So if you add it to the 19.5, what are you getting? 25.2.
You heard the Vice Chairman of the Finance Committee of Parliament, Patrick Buama.
Away from that, the Office of the Head of Local Government Service has announced that a series of specialized training and capacity building programs will be instituted for all metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives and their engineers, finance, procurement and other officers to ensure accountability and diligence in the service. According to Engineer Dr. Nana Tuata Arthur, his office is committed to ensuring the technical and professional development of human resources to help in reducing infractions and financial implications that are identified by the Auditor General during reviews. Addressing a gathering at the 6th and 7th Annual Local Government Procurement Professionals Association of Ghana Conference in Koforidua, Engineer Dr. Nana Ato Arthur indicated that his office is seeking external sources of funding to increase capacity building initiatives for all categories of staff.
Challenges that confront procurement professionals, particularly in addressing infractions and financial implications during audit processes, underscore the need for disciplined, dedicated, and well-rounded individuals in this field. The Office of the Head Local Government Service is committed, as I did indicate, to the technical and professional development of its human resource, including procurement officers. As professionals, be reminded that it's not only your certificates that will make you professionals, your attitudes. When you are coming, you don't come with your certificates, you let them home, but you are here. Your attitudes are very important. That makes you a professional. The certificate alone wouldn't make you a professional. Attitudes are very, very, very important. There are some of you who think that I've trained Legon, I've trained this place, I've trained that place. That alone makes me a professional. It's not like that.
Head of the Local Government Service, Engineer Dr. Nana Ato Arthur. For his part, the President of the Procurement Professionals Association of Ghana, Lawson Komladon Ashong, in an interview with City News, called on the government and the Public Procurement Authority to train its members on the use of the e-procurement platform.
We have, of course, some challenges that we elaborated on, and then one of them has to do with GANEPS. GANEPS is an e-procurement platform where we do all our procurement activities. Now, it's a lot. Tendering on GANEPS is a lot. We've seen that the capacity that they have, they have built our capacity. PPA, Public Procurement Authority, has built our capacity on operations of GANEPS. That training is not enough. PPA is also limited in terms of finance. So therefore, what it means is that the training to us is not enough. We are having issues and problems, using the platform. We want PPA to come back and train us and absorb the problems, the issues that we have. But they are lacking the finance. If you invite PPA today to come and train you, you have to pay for the training. So we appealed to our boss, which is the head of service, to actually intervene in his own way. We don't know how to see if they can, maybe get a fund somewhere, or if the service can, as a matter of urgency, train us, because
That is President of the Procurement Professionals Association of Ghana, Lawson Komladon Ashon. But let's stay with the Local Government Service, because its head, Engineer Dr. Nana Ato Arthur, has also asked all local government staff seeking assembly positions in the upcoming district assembly elections scheduled for December 19th this year to immediately resign from the service when they are elected as assemblymen or women.
saying go and contest. I said, let me get involved. Nobody is against you going to contest, except that when you win, you just submit your resignation letter. Because Clocks Act versus Attorney General and two others, the judgment in 2017, as an a staff, if you win assembly member, you cannot be a assembly member and a staff of local government service or civil service at the same time. Not that you cannot go, but you decide. After winning, you just resign from the service. When you lose, you continue to be with us. That's the difference between an assembly member and that of going to be a constituency officer for a political party or an MP or regional officer or national officer. That one, you need to resign first.
You heard the head of local government service, engineer Dr. Nana Ato Arthur Woma, has some more stories.
Now, the assembly member for the Santo electoral area in the Katamanso district of the Greater Accra region, Samuel Abri, has stated that some victims of the recent demolition on a 10-acre land which left over 100 homeowners stranded are currently taking shelter in his house. According to him, several attempts to engage the alleged estate developer to find this resolution before the demolition failed. The demolitions occurred on Friday evening in Santo New Jordan. Speaking to Citi News, assembly member for the area revealed that the estate developer owned the land under contention.
I tried to see if I can meet with them. They said no. It appears like they are not ready to listen to anybody. Now, what triggers this anger for these demolitions to happen was the very people who sold the land to the community people come back to the community while these people are in the community with court order to come and do the demolition. When these people left, then those who sold the land to the community came to the community, held a meeting with the community. In my absence, we have provided some spaces for them to lay their head while they are looking for their permanent place to go. When you come to my house, I've given rooms to some of the families, and then I've spoken to a co-tenant who have also given out his house for some people to occupy. So those who came to me, those who ran to me, we have given them a place to live.
That was the assembly member for the Santo electoral area, Samuel Abri.
Away from that, the Ghana Online Drivers Union is urging ride-hailing companies and security agencies to intensify their efforts investigating and apprehending perpetrators of assault on ride-hailing app drivers. This call comes in response to the latest reported incident of an alleged assault on a boat driver identified as Bright Kato, who was assaulted by two ladies and a guy for refusing to pick them up after they cancelled a ride and requested an offline trip, allegedly. In an interview with Citi News, the president of the Ghana Online Drivers Union, Francis Kwekutenge, expressed concern about the lack of promptness in the investigation process of previous attacks on ride-hailing app drivers, while emphasizing the need for a policy framework to address and mitigate such incidents.
Going to 2024, we are hoping that Ministry of Transport, National Road Safety Authority, Ghana Private, the Coordinating Council, all the stakeholders will have to sit down for all of us to have an engagement so that we can put in place policies. There should be policies, and not only the policies are there, they should be implemented for the betterment and safety and security of both the drivers and then the riders. One sector cannot do it. The companies are in the country and they are operating. But if there are no proper policies, they will just be running. And then the drivers who are the citizens of the country will be suffering. So I think, and I would suggest that going to 2024, the Honorable Minister for Transport and then the Parliamentary Select Committee on Transport, we should all come together and then see the way forward.
Francis Kwekutenge is president of the Ghana Online Drivers Union.
Away from that, Amnesty International Ghana is urging President Akufo-Addo to, as a matter of urgency, sign the anti-witchcraft bill and the death penalty bill into law. The president, in a letter to Parliament, said he was unable to assent to the Criminal Offences Amendment Bill 2023, which seeks to criminalize attacks on alleged witches, and the Ghana Armed Forces Amendment Bill 2023, which also aims at expunging the death penalty from the statutes of the law books, and the Wildlife Resources Management Bill 2023 due to constitutional matters relating to these bills. Country Director of Amnesty International Ghana, Genevieve Patterson, says the passage of the bills will safeguard the life and dignity of countless individuals.
The death penalty does not serve as a deterrent of crime. There are currently no studies that show that states who keep the death penalty have lower crime rates or continue to commit murder regardless. So that's one reason why we need to abolish it completely from our statutes. We all know that currently Parliament voted in favor of the amendment of the Armed Forces Act. The President, however, perhaps had challenges with it and has, some time to respond back, send a memo to Speaker of Parliament. We are eagerly awaiting what exactly that memo will say, that we can quickly work on it and get this bill passed. Very important and urgent.
You heard the Country Director of Amnesty International Ghana, Genevieve Patterson.
Moving on, a group of people led by the Tamale North Member of Parliament, Al-Hassan Suhini, and social activist Citi Prime over the weekend held a protest dubbed Free Palestine in the northern regional capital, Tamale, to demand an end to the Israel-Palestinian war. An ongoing armed conflict between Israel and Hamas-led Palestinian militant groups, which started on October 7, 2023, has resulted in the death of thousands and injury to many. Speaking during the protest, Tamale North MP Al-Hassan Suhini called on world leaders to intervene and end the happenings in Palestine.
What is happening in Palestine should not be opposed or supported based on one's faith. It is not about Islam and it's not about Christianity. It is about humanity. It's about fellow feeling. It's about children and women. And it's about the suffering of the very, very vulnerable in our society. And anybody with a conscience that is still alive, wherever you are in the world, whatever your faith is, must find what is happening in Palestine despicable and must speak up against it and must call on the authorities and the powers that be to do whatever they can to stop what is happening in Palestine, to stop the carnage, to stop the bombing, and to stop the killing of innocent civilians and innocent women and children.
Al-Hassan Suhini is the MP for Tamale North. Meanwhile, Palestinian ambassador to Ghana, Abdel Fattah Ahmed Kali Assatari, while expressing his gratitude to Ghanaians, said the conflict has degenerated due to politics, contrary to popularly held views that the conflict is fueled by religion.
This conflict will not be stopped without the establishment of an independent Palestinian state on the land which occupied in 1967. And the Middle East nobody will feel in with peace. Without the occupation of my lands, leave. The Israelis should leave our lands and take their settlers with them. We cannot living without see Palestine free. And we have very strong belief because we understand our Quran. This conflict, not religious conflict.
Palestinian ambassador to Ghana, Abdel Fattah Ahmed Khalid. Meanwhile, managing editor of the Inside newspaper and Kwesi Pratt Jr. applauded the people of Tamale for supporting the protest.
That Akema and all the elders and chiefs of Tamale who supported us in organizing this demonstration and in taking part in this demonstration. They have demonstrated today that the chiefs and elders of Tamale love freedom and they love justice for everybody in the world. A round of applause for the chiefs and elders of Tamale.
You heard Kwesi Pratt Jr., he's managing editor of the Inside newspaper. And that's it for today's edition of Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studio at Adabraka in Accra. My name is Adjoatin Krama Domina, and I did this with
Wilma Obobisa Coleman.
For more news, log on to citynewsroom.com. Many thanks for listening. Good afternoon.